Frigid conditions out there as we're starting this Wednesday morning. Most locations across the foothills, the Piedmont, even through the sandhills and parts of the coast. Mid and upper teens to start the day. Up in the mountains, Newland right now at the 5 o'clock hours. I'm cutting this video. Newland in the mountains is at 5 degrees. Banner Elk is at 6 degrees. And still some wind up there in the mountains too this morning. So it's really cold all across the region. Let me show you a shot this morning from Beech Mountain. And if you're familiar with this camera location, this is actually a parking lot right there, and the roadway runs kind of right across the middle part of the screen, and that is a very cold wintertime look atop Beech Mountain this morning. Cold, dry Arctic air all across the eastern part of the country. No precipitation of note really to be found anywhere, just a few light returns in Illinois, a few other areas of some precip there north of Washington State. Interesting this morning that you have the freeze-related products in effect all the way down through South Florida. Even the Miami-Dade Weather Service office issuing some freeze-related products for this morning. This is a big-time blast of Arctic air. You can see that cold air that has gotten pushed well down south. And again, I mentioned how cold the temperatures are around our neck of the woods. Yesterday, it was a cold day. You had a high of 35 in Charlotte and Raleigh. It was 33 for high in Greensboro, 32 in Winston-Salem. Many foothill spots only made it to at most 30. Mountains were obviously much, much colder than that. It was a very, very cold day, the coldest day we've had in about a year. And here's a look at the upper air chart today. We do have another disturbance sliding through, but the air is so dry. I mean, we have single-digit dew point temperatures at times. We've had some dew points below zero. All we're going to see is some high, thin cirrus clouds with that as it presses through later today. Note, though, this little piece of energy that's broken off there near the Mexico and New Mexico-Arizona border. Let's go out in time. This is the European model. Here we are by early in the pre-dawn hours Saturday morning. That disturbance is right there. Obviously weakening as it approaches, but most modeling indicates it'll be enough to bring at least some chance of a quick-hitting rain opportunity Saturday night into Sunday morning. Now, next week, a complex forecast again. We continue to want to see these troughs split with energy heading back toward the southwest U.S., and a lot of times you look at that and say, that's just an error of the European model. But all the modeling is on board with that general type of idea, although there's a ton of difference in the exact placement. Let's go further out. That's Sunday. This is early Tuesday morning. And we'll have another little trough swing through late Monday or Tuesday, still looking at this energy trapped out to the southwest. Finally, we see that get picked up and moved our way on the European model Wednesday into Thursday as a rain-producing system. But notice most of the modeling on board here with another big amplification later next week. Here we are on the European on Thursday, and finally out Friday evening. That's another big blast of cold air over the eastern United States. Pretty well-defined ridge here near the Rocky Mountain region driving that trough into place. Now let's shift gears and look at the GFS model. Today, again, some high clouds, a lot of sunshine. It'll be a lot more tolerable, though, to be outside today. Yesterday, again, with those 30s for highs in the Piedmont and the foothills, you factored in a stiff northwest wind. It was pretty brutal to step outside. Today, low in some mid-40s, the wind not nearly as big of a factor, so it'll be a lot more tolerable, although still certainly on the chilly side. 20s for lows tonight. Tomorrow, I think we're back into the 50s for highs for much of the region with a good deal of sun. Friday looking like an excellent day, sunshine and probably a lot of lower 60s for highs. And then we get into the weekend. I think Saturday we'll see some clouds streaming in. I'm going to hold off on the rain chance and keep it dry during the day Saturday, but Saturday night into Sunday I will mention some rain chance. Again, the GFS is dry with this, but the European model does bring in a pretty good chance of some rain, although it's a quick hitting chance Saturday night and Sunday morning. The Canadian is very much the same. Thereafter, the GFS is strong enough with that next little disturbance to bring some rain opportunities on Monday, while a lot of the other modeling just has some clouds Monday. And then finally, later next week, whenever that southwest low ejects our way, Wednesday or Thursday, we'll have another opportunity for rain. Now, let's take a quick peek at the longer range. There's the NAO ensembles trending toward neutral. And, they're at the very end as you get toward the latter stages, well, I should say latter stages, but as you get toward maybe the 15th to 20th of January, some of the ensembles want to begin to raise that NAO back up just a bit. The Arctic Oscillation, well, look at that. That's all over the place. You have just a huge spread here. But the general trend is toward a neutral or slightly negative Arctic oscillation on the American modeling. Now let's look at this chart. I showed you this yesterday. Kind of interesting to see. The green line, that's the GFS operational. This is the Arctic oscillation forecast, by the way. The green line is the GFS operational. The red line is the GFS ensemble. Ensemble holding firm with that negative AO forecast. The operational, rather, kind of trended it back toward positive by the 15th to the 20th of the month. The European, which had been in the positive territory, now is at least, with its operational and its ensemble, trended this toward neutral here next week, and the second half of next week especially. So, we'll see. I think certainly the signs continue to point to a much colder month of January relative to average than what we had in December. And, of course, December overall was a well above average temperature month. So for winter weather fans, again, hang in there. We're stepping in the right direction. You get some blasts of cold air on the way, and again, it looks like maybe another big blast of cold air later next week, and we'll just have to see how these upper-level disturbances behave. At some point, we'll probably time things out right to get some type of winter weather event in here, but again, nothing specific at the moment. All right, that is it for today. Thank you for watching. Have a great day. Stay warm, and God bless.